Woman, former Apprentice star Erin Elmore sets the record straight. Next.
Tractor with a low tire, you fix the tire, you fill the tire with air. You don't get rid of the tractor. The
Erin,
Obamacare was working.
The tractor is broken, and we need a new tractor.
That type of reaction, those boos that you could hear?
I find that to be such a small part of the conversation. If you look at Ivanka's Twitter feed, it shows that she said she received a warm welcome and had a great time at this summit. And she really is a great voice for women and has been for a very, very long amount of time.
Of a network. This network is literally treating people that work for President Trump and support President Trump as second-class citizens. We're being demeaned. We're being talked down to. People are rolling their eyes. And we're supporting the President of the United States. This is not some extreme point of view or some horrible ideology. So it's really sad, and something has to change. It's just not true. And let's face it, Obamacare is imploding. 1 out of 3 counties in the United States right now have one choice. We need to drive down these premiums and get insurers back into the market. Right now, there are 19.5 million Americans that aren't covered because these premiums are absolutely out of control.
It is not working. It is a failing system. Premiums are skyrocketing and through the roof. And what we need to do is just come together, and all they're trying to do is achieve a common objective. That's their job.
This one go.
You know, he's talking about when there's smoke, there's fire. I'd actually like to say what they say in Texas. This is all hat and no cattle. There's no proof that anything.
Outrage. Erin Elmore was a spokesperson for the President Trump, and she joins us live next.
For a very long time, it is very antiquated and it's extremely problematic. So it's something that has to be tackled and has to be tackled soon.
Yeah, you're right. Business. You're not going to argue with me, are you?
How could I ever argue with you? But on this point, I couldn't agree more. And I'm sorry that I'm not there with you today. He is not beholden to special interest. His special interest is the American people.
Responsible for Julie, but also of Nancy Pelosi to say it.
Irresponsible. It's slander. Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi for a second. She has the honor and the distinction of being the most well-known, yet least liked person in, the Senate and the leadership.
Right.
So I think there's a big misconception about what it really means to have a job at the EPA.
Well,
Former Trump spokesperson. Thank you so much, Erin, for joining us. Business decision or political decision?
So clearly a political decision, and it's absolutely ludicrous. And what I liked about that is he didn't call it politics. He called it a business.
Same?
Look, I'm totally in. He was great to me as a contestant on The Apprentice and afterwards helped to advance my career. But I also think just that the American people are so tired of Washington insiders and politics as usual. They want to change, and the change seems to be Donald Trump.
Wow, you were ready for that one.
For the first 100 days. And guess what looks like it's happening? All of those promises are coming true with these 12 executive actions. So basically, he's a politician that's kept his word. Wow, isn't that
that's an oxymoron.
New and novel, and Donald Trump's the one that's really breaking shifting the paradigm. He looked truly honored and shocked and surprised, and he's allowed to have that moment. We don't have to be part of the reverse Bradley effect.
Reverse Bradley effect, yeah.
Totally, where people are scared to say they're supporting Donald Trump because the next thing the Democrats are going to do are bully them into submission and call them a racist. Point increase since last week alone. So Hillary is shaking in her pantsuit.
Oh, you arranged that line.
I just thought of it, I swear.
Planned that line.
I did not.
Did somebody write it for you?
No, I can write it myself. I'm a smart lady.
Okay, I'm backing right off there.
Running up the electoral vote or running out the clock, that could come back to hurt them. What do you think?
I couldn't agree with you more. Look, that was quite a geography lesson we just had. And I think that the other thing we have to really factor in is a lot of these Trump supporters are almost closeted by the bullying Hillary Clinton fans. With the Clintons, it's one example of pay for play after the next, after the next, after the next. They clearly don't care about humans because of all of these human rights violations in that country. They don't care about people at large, and they don't care about the American people. People said be yourself, and now he's like, okay, I'm going to come out swinging and be that version of Donald Trump, bigger, better, measured, not taking the bait, and crushing her on the things like her horrible track record, Benghazi, the never-ending email scandal. The litany of lies just keeps on coming.
Okay, it's a difficult household situation.
No, he's just not perfectly sure yet.
Not perfectly sure. He's a Republican?
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
he's not here. I am. I am a Republican. I am voting for Trump.
Yeah,
my
but
husband's
he's
in the
watching.
office. He's the CEO. Hi, honey.
I'm just trying to stir things up for when you get home. That's all I'm doing here.
Stir, stir, stir. But he's supportive of me. How's that?
Okay, if it's Trump versus Hillary, you're still for Trump.
You got it.
If it's Trump versus Bernie, You're for Trump.
I am burned out.
Message of a presidential campaign.
Absolutely. He has a great team behind him, and there has been a bit of a shakeup, but all is for the best. He's doing well. He's refocused. He has great people behind him, and he's a very smart individual. I think perfectly ready today, perfectly prepared, staying focused, staying on message, because he has a message. And so put on and so phony. That's what I thought. And Pence was just cool as a cucumber.
Don't hold back, okay? I mean, you're just
Hey, you
spell it
either,
out
right?
there.
Look, I think Pence was cool as a cucumber. He came off as so professional, so polished, so presidential. We just need Mr. Trump to take a little note from that playbook, and here we go, White House. It does now, because it's like voir dire, how you select a jury. You try to eliminate potential jurors with bias. This could potentially be a bias. Although he was born in the United States, his parents are immigrants, so this is a new issue. Moreover, he was appointed by President Barack Obama, a Democrat. I think this is also a paradigm-shifting issue here. We've never dealt with a presidential candidate on the other side who's dealing with a judge who was appointed by a current president.
Erin, what do you think?
Well, first of all, like you, I'm a humongous Howard Stern fan. I want to be in the whack pack, but let's be serious.
You ain't got a chance.
The Republicans are not. Darn it! The Republicans are not winning. The Bible-thumping conservative people are just not winning. So guess what? That's why Trump is the breath of fresh air. That's why he's getting the votes. Just talk to Sarah Palin and Mitt Romney. We are not the moral police. You know what? Look at Bill Clinton.
And last night was the Democrat convention. He had a lot of material to go at, surely.
Absolutely, and you and I love his candor. It might be our favorite thing about him of all. And there is so much material for him, and he loves to crack a joke more than anyone I know. With Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the disaster that went on at the DNC last night, he had a lot of material. But I think we're seeing the new, refined, polished, professional, and on-message Donald Trump.
Convention Deputy Press Secretary. Erin, good to see you. Thanks for joining the conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Your reaction to Ted Cruz last night?
Absolutely despicable. What was he thinking? He thinks this is going to hand 2020 to him on a silver platter. He is dead wrong. What he might do is hand Hillary Clinton votes, and then every Republican on the face of the earth is going to hate him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, Trump.
Erin Elmore, Trump surrogate and RNC Deputy Press Secretary. So, you heard it. I want your response. You're a Trump lady. Tell us.
I mean, her health is a paramount concern here. You don't pivot and talk about your opponent when it comes to something as important as your health.
Okay.
Really bad.
Okay. And you don't think that she has been transparent?
Clearly not.
Okay.
We heard she was dehydrated. Now we find out it's pneumonia. What's the real answer? And this matters. We're not talking about dog catcher here. We're talking about President of the United States.
That's a good line. We're not talking about dog catcher. What do you
That power didn't rule the day.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think it's a positive step in the right direction for our country. And the fact that they didn't win shows you what the American people really think.
Are capable of.
That's right. I think the American people were just fed up with business as usual in Washington. They wanted a change. They wanted something fresh. They didn't want that machine. They didn't want that corruption. They didn't want more of this.